and to bring it home, best comedy series was filmed by the studio. And the talking point of this for me is not just a recommendation on the studio. I got around to it a couple of months later than all the others. I thought the studio was one of the best shows of this year, not just as a comedy. It worked phenomenally as a satire. And I think it's the kind of show that we really needed. That there hasn't been that many satires about Hollywood, and Seth Rogen perfectly gets it, basing certain characters off certain real life people, the concept of the studio, looking into the modern day studio system and how the quality of film has deteriorated in advantage of them seeking, but essentially making quick money over art. It presents that logic of what happens if a person who wants to be known for the arts ends up having to run a corporate studio. It poses that question, and it has a phenomenal ensemble cast to go along with it. It's once again Apple backing them. I know Scorsese didn't win the guest appearance last week. I know that went to Bryan Cranston from the same series, but that the people they were able to get cameos for, and not just cameos for the sake of it, but it reminded me of Curb Your Enthusiasm. The butt of the joke of every episode was Seth Rogen, but if you actually look at every episode itself, Seth Rogen isn't actually ever in the wrong. The core of the stories, you could look at it being that Seth Rogen tends to be right, but unfortunately, the job and the circumstances and other people around him end up making him look like he is in the wrong. And that's kind of what Curb Your Enthusiasm is. The logic of Curb Your Enthusiasm is that Larry David is never ever wrong, but because of his attitude and how he is with people and what he's willing to speak, that's why he becomes the butt of all the jokes. And I really recommend the studio if you haven't seen it. I'm not surprised it's won this many, and I guess you have to credit Seth Rogen for winning 4 Emmys in one night.